Monday, the 12th of August, and I was super tired watching this workout. I had to get up like 4 a.m. to fly back from New Hampshire to get here in time to see the workout, and yeah, it'd be a good workout though. I'm glad it was a good workout to watch. If everyone would have been lifting terribly, I probably would have fallen asleep. But ended up being a pretty good day. See Morgan there is still doing most everything off blocks. This is probably the first time Travis has done 140 since Nationals. He's not gone super heavy on the actual lift since then. That was a nice snatch by Mike. I don't think that wife beater really compliments Tom's figure. That's good for Matt. Yeah, I definitely think somebody should tell Tom to stop wearing that combination. It's just not. It just doesn't look good at all. I find it odd that Dean switches platforms all the time. If he doesn't have a good lift on one platform, he goes and butts in on someone else's platform and lifts there for a lift or two and then comes back and whatever. It's very odd. He's like the first person I've ever seen that does that. Still locking his arms out. He still must be taking those technique steroids. I think they must have definitely helped. That's a good lift. 120 in training is pretty good lift for Dean. Surely working on sweeping the bar back into her, getting it in deep in her hip, and she's done a very good job of it now. I tell you, Trevor, I think that the last week or two, he's really become, it seems like he's become a lot more consistent with his, snatches in the, 80-90% range. Not fooling around as much trying to get him balanced, just catching him on point and standing up without having to run after him or anything like that. Gives me a lot of confidence that I'm going to see him snatch 150 or better very soon. He's not too heavy in training. I mean, he's weighing about 86, 87 kilos, and that's enough that he should be able to, make weight without seeing any real reduction in strength or anything like that. That clean and jerk complex you just saw James do there, it's kind of become my favorite clean and jerk complex. It's very very difficult to hit that jerk after you've done the front squats. I almost think a lot of times stuff you do before the jerk, which makes the jerk harder, is almost better than doing like extra reps on the jerk. You know, Travis likes to do, the clean front squat and then 2 jerks, but I almost think, like clean pull, 2 front squats, you're so fatigued. Now that looked really good for Trevor, for Trevor again. But if you do that, you're so fatigued by the time you hit that jerk. Obviously it makes the jerk feel like a jerk with 20 more kilos. Seems to be pretty effective. I mentioned in the last video, Mike was having trouble kind of collapsing his back when he went to dip and drive. I think he got a couple good ones on this workout without doing that. Something we've talked about a little recently. You can at least be aware of it and try not to do it. Jeez. That's called going low to get a jerk. Surprised you didn't hit his knee on the ground. That's Caleb with a nice looking snatch, that last lift. One of the things we've talked about, I think he's worked on recently, is getting his elbows pointing to the sky and pulling straight up on the bar instead of pulling backwards on the bar. I think that's part of what causes him to loop the bar over his head sometimes. Now, that wasn't the greatest jerk I've ever seen. But that's kind of probably an undervalued thing is, a lot of, especially beginner lifters, as they're finishing the pull and going under, they're pointing the elbows towards the back of the room. Some people do that. It doesn't really seem to affect them, but a lot of times it'll make you loop the bar. And as you finish the pull and start to pull under, it's very advantageous to, at least momentarily, the elbow should be pointing straight up and pulling straight up on the bar to keep the bar path fairly vertical. That seems to affect Caleb probably more than most people. When he doesn't do that very well, the bar really loops. So something I think is more important to him than it is to most people. But it's something we've talked about, and I think he's working on right now. Jeez. The funny thing is, even when he does one like that, he always grimaces afterwards. If everybody else notices that, but Matt can't, he doesn't, he claims he's not hurt. It's just nothing that's really bothering him, but after every lift, of course it's worse with the ones he misses, but make it or miss it, he shakes his head like he's answering somebody no, shakes his head back and forth and just grimaces and holds his elbow or his wrist or something like that. I really don't think he's really hurting. I just think it's almost like a habit. Like you have to grimace when you put the weight down. That was a hell of a lockout. jerk recovery. I guess it worked though. She's got a pretty dang nice power jerk. She's almost somebody that might eventually be good enough at power jerk to actually use it in competition, but I don't know. I haven't really seen her go super heavy, but certainly in the 80% range, she power jerked the hell out of it. As I remember from the workout, he locks this out pretty dang good. Oh, I was right. Not bad at all. Well, it's only 135, but... Get ready for the grimace. I guess the exception proves the rule. That's the one time he didn't act like he was dying after he put a bar down. It's funny how every time Matt does a set, you can always look directly in front of him and see Dean doing like 1 kilo more, 5 kilos more, 2 kilos more, something like that. I think Dean must plan that. I mean, he must be looking back at Matt's platform and always putting an extra kilo or 2 on the bar. She got on her toes on that pole quite a bit, and that's something Beck has been having problems with. As the bar, goes from the knee to the hip, she gets forward. And she's getting better for a while, but she seems to have, not saying she's getting worse, but she's doing it here and there, and it really hurts the amount of power she can put into the bar. God, Tone needs a new outfit. That wife beater just doesn't go with his body type. I think the problem is that his wife left the day before this was shot. I think she probably has a hand in dressing him for the day, and now that she's gone, we should expect more atrocious outfits. So 143. He seemed happy with himself there. I'm not sure why, because he pressed the shit out of that jerk. That's a good jerk. Wife beater and all. That was a pretty good jerk. squat PR during the morning workout before this one on Monday. Surprisingly, she was still fairly energetic and able to do some good, decent weights. Let's see if this jerk is 160 kilos, so it's only like an 80% weight for him. Let's see if this jerk is as good as the last one. I would hope so. Yeah, clean lockout. Well, that pretty much comes to an end, but yeah, I did barely manage to stay awake during that video, but I did hold out to the end. Not bad for a Monday. We got some interesting things coming up this week, and that, you know, a few of the guys are going to be competing for to earn a stipend. We got 2 or 3 guys that don't have a stipend right now, so we'll work out heavy on Tuesday and heavy on Wednesday, and then Thursday and Friday we'll have the guys that are going to have a little mini competition for a stipend. We'll definitely back off and have a couple days of relative rest, and then we should have an interesting little mock competition on Saturday for at least one of the guys to earn a little more money than they are now. So should be an interesting week, and I look forward to the next couple workouts.